The title reads, Avoidant Men, am I just a roommate to my boyfriend? So this is obviously from a girl's point of view. She says, I've been living with my boyfriend for 9 months now. I'm starting to feel worried that I made a mistake moving in with him. But it's always good to move in with someone, especially if you've been with someone for maybe a couple of years, because it really is a good test of your relationship to see if you want anything long term with that person, especially before marriage, in my opinion. She says we split everything 50%, which isn't really a problem for me. It's a key word there. It's not really a problem, but it probably is a problem. It's something that's wound her up a bit. But okay, they do 50% either way, especially if they're on similar pay. That makes sense, especially in 2025 in our modern society. But I've noticed I pay more on groceries and cleaning stuff. He would request more lavish dinners when it's my turn and I clean 90% while he only vacuums the carpets, so it's not quite equal. Yeah, that's not good. Um, as the man, especially if you're splitting things 50-50, I'm completely cool with, yeah, she pays for the shopping. Next week, I pay for the shopping. And when it comes to household duties, I think you should split it halfway as well, especially if you both work the same amount of time and you get the same amount of pay. So I think that's completely fine. But yeah, if you are the guy and you're earning more than her and you're at work more times than her, then yeah, I'd expect to come home and it'd be a nice warm meal when I come home from a hard day's work. But yeah, if it's 50-50 down the middle, this guy seems to be slacking a lot and taking advantage of this woman, which is not good. And come on, bro, choose an expensive meal when she's paying, and then going for the cheap meals when you're paying. Yeah, it's a bit of a sleaze bag moment from this guy. So I'm completely on this girl's side so far, but she could be twisting the truth ever so slightly to make this guy look worse than he actually is. Next paragraph. The problem I'm having though is that when I need support, he turns to his games. I'm guessing she means video games. That's the thing with video games. A lot of guys enjoy them. Obviously, I enjoy them because I post them on my channel. But I do think a lot of women do get a bit of the ick. Now, if you play your cards right and you're a great boyfriend, you keep yourself busy with work and other hobbies, and you hit the gym, then she's completely fine with you playing video games. Look at Henry Cavill, for example. He's a bit of a geek. But if you're slobbing around the house all day, you're not doing a lot of work, maybe your job's not very fulfilling, you don't really have a social life, and you just play video games all the time around her, yeah, it's going to start grinding her gears. It hasn't only been on one occasion. I had an emergency with my cat, he got hurt, and we needed to go to the emergency vet. He watched me clean out my accounts to pay for it. I was a little short, but not by much, and I asked him for help. When we got home, he told me to get a credit card because he doesn't want it if anything happens to fall on him. So he'd rather see me in debt than help me. Look, at the end of the day, as the boyfriend, you need to step up. If your girlfriend, has a family emergency, and in this regard, it's a cat. Look, I'm a dog person. I love my dog, so I understand where she's coming from here. It's gonna hurt a lot and be a very emotional time. You as the guy, you need to step up and support your girlfriend. Put the video games down for a week while you support her during this difficult time. You need to be there to support her. The financial aspect, okay, that's a bit more tricky ground, but from the sounds of it, you split things down 50-50 and she needs a bit of financial support to help with her cat. I think if you've got the money, you should be helping her out in this regard because it is your girlfriend, you are living with her and you made a commitment to her. It's not like she's asking you to buy a car. You can see that her cat is in a spot of bother and you want to help out the cat and you want to help out your girlfriend. So again, this guy's kind of dropping the ball a lot here. It's not like she's asking for a lot. It's not like, from the sounds of it, she's asking money from this guy all the time and using him. I'm not getting that bad vibe from this woman. She continues to say, I'm going through a lot, and when I tell him I'm not okay, he turns to his games and online friends. Yeah, if he's going to constantly just turn his back on this girl when she's going through tough times, that's not a good sign of a man who's ready for a long-term relationship. Or I just think he's quite selfish and he seems to care more about playing video games and helping out his woman. What I will say is, it says she's going through a lot of things at the moment. My concern is she just constantly in bad moods? Is she constantly going through bad stuff with family and friends? Because from this guy's point of view, he's probably just fed up with it now. He's like, every single month there's something wrong with you. Do you know what I mean? So we don't really get his side of the story here, but maybe at the start he was supportive of her, but he started to realise that this girl's constantly got issues, and he's just fed up with it now. And he's like, you sort out your own shit now. And if that is the case, then I think this relationship has run its course. I had 2 panic attacks. Okay, we're starting to get a bit more of a picture about this woman now. And he offered me no care or support, even though I told him I'm not coping. Now, if these panic attacks are frequent, and maybe he's helping you out all the time, and you're not showing him any thanks for it, and you're not, you know, maybe going to the doctors to look into why you're having these panic attacks, maybe that's why he's just thrown, you know, he's waving the white flag, so to speak. I can kind of understand it from his point of view, but at the end of the day, this is your girlfriend, and you know, call this relationship off, call the tenancy off if you're not going to support her anymore and you're fed up with it. But so far, look, if my girlfriend was having panic attacks, I'd be there to support her, and I'd give her my time and my full attention to her, because she's going through something tough. Now, you're the guy, you got to be that shoulder for her to cry on, and it feels like you're not really living up to that role at the moment. I told him today that I'm not feeling well, and yeah, he's game at the moment and I'm alone. I wonder if she's actually fine, but she's just testing him now. She's like, let's see if this guy stops playing his video games and gives me attention. I think that's the key part here. She feels like he is not giving her enough attention. Women want your attention all the time, and this guy is dropping the ball in that area. He's probably not taking her out on dates. They're probably not spending valuable time together. Maybe straight after work he's playing video games. Again, it's fine to have a hobby, but you got a girlfriend, bro, so you got to make some time for her. And then once she has that fill of time with you, then she's like, hey, you go and play your video games for a few hours. Now, if she loses her cool with you having a hobby, then that's when you know it's a bit of a red flag, and you know she's a bit controlling and she needs your attention way too much. Then that's when you have a problem, and I feel for you. Let's wrap this one up here, because she continues on, so we'll try and speed through the last few parts. I don't know if I'm just not communicating. Sorry, if I can get my words out. I don't know if it's just I'm not communicating the right way, or if he just doesn't care about my well-being. So this is what women will start thinking. If you're not giving them your time and attention, they're going to start thinking, oh, you don't care about them. And then the girl might find a guy who shows her more attention. Maybe that guy at work starts to ask how her day is, and now she starts to have these more engaging conversations with another man instead of yourself. Starting to feel like we're just roommates. Yeah, that's something you hear a lot. Sleeping in the same bed, roommates with benefits, but no benefit to me. Am I overreacting? Yeah, it sounds like maybe this guy's doing the absolute bare minimum. You know, he gets his fulfill in the bedroom, gives her maybe a kiss or two a week, goes back to his video games, and he just sounds like he's kind of bored and over this relationship. Probably because it's become a bit samey, and he's wants that variety, you know, as they say, variety is the spice of life. But bro, you've committed to this girl for a long-term relationship. You've got to be spending your time with her, and if you're no longer interested in her, then you need to cut this off to give her an opportunity to find someone else who's going to treat her the way she wants to be treated. She added an edit here, so we'll quickly fly through this over the next minute or two. She says, I should add a few things. A couple of months into dating, he told me he's avoidant. I'm just saying that. Okay, so she forgot to mention that he's apparently avoidant. But bro, like, if you're avoidant, then maybe you should be in a relationship. You know, that's no excuse to not give your woman attention and just listen to her when she has issues and help her out with her cat. Like, come on. She says on good days, which is most, we don't have any problems. We even have hobbies together. We cook and bake together. I have even been an assistant in his garage when he does man activities. Okay, so there's a bit more here. Like, obviously, this guy does give her attention, which again is making me go back to the point. Maybe she just needs his attention a bit too much, and it's a bit unhealthy at this point. Maybe she's a bit insecure and a bit jealous type. But again, it's still true. If a woman really likes you, she wants your attention all the time. So obviously, he's doing enough things right to have that attraction that she has for him. She says, me being anxious. Here we go. So there is, I think, some layers to this. I think maybe she is a bit of a jealous type, and she's mentioned here that she can be anxious and let down by a lot of experiences. I'm scared that if something really serious happens, he's not going to be there for me, and I mean more serious than my cat getting hurt, which I didn't expect him to pay for it all. She puts in brackets. So she says she's had these experiences before, so again, maybe she's been hurt in the past by previous men. That is the issue. If you are going to be dating a woman who's had lots of experiences with other men, she's going to start comparing her previous experiences with those possibly bad men to you. And yeah, that's why you kind of want to be dating a woman who hasn't had too many experiences with other men, because it can damage her in the upcoming relationships. Final paragraph. My intention with this post is to hopefully find a way to either resolve it or do what's hard, and in regards to leaving. And she again mentions that she has an anxious brain. So yeah, in conclusion, this guy needs to start giving her more attention, especially when it comes to something serious like a cat being in a spot above her. But yeah, if this girl's just constantly needing this guy's attention, always creating bad scenarios and always, oh, woe me and my life's so hard, then I can understand why this guy just wants to throw in the towel. But at that point, just leave the relationship and cancel the tenancy early, even if you have to pay it off, because yeah, this isn't, from the sounds of it, a very healthy situation. Even though she does mention that they do stuff together, they cook together, they have hobbies, and sometimes she visits him at work. So maybe she's just a bit all over the place at the moment, but at the same time, I think this guy could do much more to support his girlfriend. Anyway, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.